So as you guys can see, she's already losing air. I put 38 pounds of air right around noon. It's about dinner time right now, about 5, and she is low. I could tell you how much air pressure I've lost within the span of 5 hours. It's actually 0. It's actually on sidewall stiffness right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the wheel and check the torque on the nuts behind the wheel, just to make sure that well, I'm kind of hoping that it's just because it looks like from the previous owner that, considering that the finish was sort of starting to kind of fade on the wheels, it looks like he might have tried to chrome it, simply because this is the best wheel out of all of them. It doesn't have the wear that you would find on the 3 wheels, and more than willing to bet you that when they put this back together, they well, either didn't silicone the 3-piece properly, or they did not torque down the bolts that holds them together. So I'm gonna take out the wheel and see if they're at torque spec. Okay, well that's not it. So looks like well, actually I shouldn't say anything yet. Maybe refill it again and see what happens overnight. But they look like they were torqued to spec, so it's just a matter of, I guess, me having to rebuild it. So this is where the suspected leak is. So I'm probably gonna maybe later get some soap and water and spray it on here, and most likely I will find that the leak's gonna be there. It should bubble up, and if not, don't know. I might just go ahead and just get myself a new pair. I mean, oh no, not necessarily a new pair, but I think these runs about $1,100, $1,200 each. But I think I'll just go get myself a new wheel and use this, rebuild this, and use this as a spare. So gives me an opportunity to switch this over to actually a better valve stem other than that rubber piece. Wonder if maybe the leak could be there also. But anyway, so yeah, another setback on the NSX. But anyway, slow but sure. I'll get her up to where I need her to be, and enjoy her as much as I can. I've got the winter, so I've got time. So, yep, that's where it is. So let me get this. You can see that it's bubbling right there. So just for giggles, I just kind of wanted to spray the entire lip just to see whether or not it's isolated there, but apparently it isn't. So if you see it there, that's fairly that's a fairly sizable leak right there. That's where most of the air is coming out, including there. So yeah, this lip is done. Well, bad news, correction, it's not just the lip, it's also the barrel. So Looks like I just can't slap on a new lip and call it a day. Looks like I need a new barrel too. So the only good thing about this three-piece is that one piece, which is the actual face. But so I think at this point, either I get a new wheel or see what it's going to cost me to get this thing repaired. But considering I can't afford a new wheel right now, just gonna have to see if I can get this thing repaired. So I've decided to take the wheel into a specialist here locally. Well, he's not really local. They're in Mechanicsburg. I kind of saw them at the Carlisle meet. Figured I'd give them a shot. The other one that was closer was a little sketchy. I'll explain that later. Just didn't seem like the shop that I needed to get this expensive wheel in. Not realizing these things are actually $1,000 each. So anyway, see how it goes. They want to inspect it, and hopefully it's something that they can fix. So the reason why I went with this shop that's further away is because I kind of saw them at the Carlisle meet, and the guy seemed pretty knowledgeable. Seems like a better operation in general. The first guy took like at least a day or two to respond back to some of the questions that I had about his services, and quite never kind of felt good about it. Finally got back to me. He told me to drop off the wheels so that he can get the work done. I get to his shop and he wasn't even there. He wanted me to actually leave the wheel at an unattended car. I just kind of felt uncomfortable with that since it's a high dollar wheel, and yeah, so I just kind of sketchy to me. So I just figured, you know what? And the shop didn't look presentable. I mean, I don't want to judge shops that way, but it's almost always true that if the shop is clean and presentable, that they treat the customers and they do the service the same way, and they treat your item the same way they treat their own shop, or something to that effect. But you guys kind of get the gist of it. But so I ended up just using this guy, even though he's over half an hour further away from the first guy, simply because it was just a choice that I made. I don't know if you guys do the same thing. Comment down below and let me know how you guys judge shops. But yeah, and hopefully they do a good job, and they do other services, other wheel services. So I might end up going to them if I do decide to powder coat the wheel, the center of the fixies, black or something. So I went after work to get the wheel. I had to actually reach out to them because they weren't getting back to me at all. It took them a few days after dropping it off. I was kind of a little upset because they were supposed to be done the following day. At the very least, let me know what was going on with it. But I guess maybe the fact that they had bad news, maybe I guess that's what kind of held them out from actually giving me a call. But they basically said that the wheel was, somebody had tried to repair the wheel prior, and they did some damage, I guess. Something about the heating process of the alloy of the wheel. Welding it again isn't going to be a good idea. So for liability purposes, they decided not to fix it. So at this point, this is the I guess this is where uh, I've decided to just go ahead and rebuild it myself. So I've contacted Fixie or Fix. You know, I should know how to say uh, that name by now. So I'm gonna have to grab a barrel and a lip. The face should be okay. So that should save me some dough. I think these are $1,100, $1,200 new. I think the barrel is about 200 and the lip is about the same. I think there's some variance well, actually, it might be more because I was looking at the minimum size of the barrel and the lip. So, but uh, kind of, I think, you know what, it gives me an opportunity to go with a deeper lip though. I'm thinking about doing the same thing for the front because having lowered her at the height that I want gave me some clearance. So essentially, with this thing down, it actually gave me about half an inch clearance because of the camber. So I might be able to go one size up on the lip on the rear, and probably another one, you know, for the same for the front too, because it does camber in and it gives me enough clearance to go just slightly wider. Because I'm not really digging the whole idea that this is somewhat kind of flush to the lip, meaning there's really no lip at all. But anyway, so I'm not too happy about it, but I guess I can't complain. It kind of gives me the experience to build a wheel myself. It's really not that hard. It's a 3-piece wheel. I just undo the bolts, put them together, you know, seal it, and put them back. Make sure they're torqued. So anyway, just kind of wanted to give an update. I'm pretty sure this is all going to be in one video, but if not, hopefully I provide enough explanation as to why I'm doing what I'm doing in this video. But anyway, I might even think about just maybe getting this thing fixed, selling it, and going with the FM5s. Yeah, I'm kind of torn. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Should I go FM5s or maybe work wheels? But I am really partial to the 5-spoke. Let me know if I should keep these, just get them refinished, and or go with black centers, keep the lips polished. But anyway, I got a bunch of things I have an idea on what to do with this car. I think the next thing, and tomorrow, I'm actually going to be picking up the NSX R wing spoiler. So I think it's a little bit too subtle, the stock one. You know, as much as I like it, I kind of want a little bit more of something to break up the whole flatness that you see on the rear. You know, it's kind of like a bed back there. So the spoiler would add a little bit of height, make it look a little bit more aggressive, and yeah. So anyway, I'll be picking that up tomorrow, and we'll see.